Hi, I'm Alex. Today's going to be a quick little video about my plans for Camp Nano this year. I don't know if I ever said it in any of my previous videos, but I used to do a lot of poetry. So for camp this year, I thought I'd dive back into what essentially are my roots of writing and trying my hand at free verse poetry again. So my specific plans are this. I will be doing a poem a day, and each poem will be based on what my current fascination is, which happens to be Carl Jung's archetypes of a person's mind. Or, if you're a BTS fan, Map of the Soul. I might be just a little into that album, and that just started me right into research. For those who don't know or just want a quick rundown, Carl Jung believed that there were 5 archetypes that made up a person, or made up the mind, specifically the conscious and unconscious mind. Now, there were other archetypes that were like the trickster and yada yada, but these were the 5 main ones that, if you incorporated, made you a more well-minded, well-rounded person. So the 5 archetypes were the persona, the ego, the shadow, the anima or animus, depending on male or female, and the self, which happens to work out really well that I have an even number of poems that can go into each archetype. Now, this might seem like a fairly simple project, and in theory it is. And that is because during camp this year, I'd also like to continue working on the drafting of my novel Blood Brothers. So I don't want something that's going to take up so much time that I won't be able to work on this. Now, the little caveat to all this, I almost didn't sign up for camp this year. And that's because while they're in the process of getting the site fully developed, they're only doing word count for Camp Nano this year. To anyone who's kind of borderline and wondering, in the fact that I do free verse poetry, and anyone really who does poetry, counting words is really difficult, and it doesn't really lend to the way they're tracking. Now, they did say by next year they'd hope to have it where they can have hours and all the other things they used to have, but this year it's just not really useful. It doesn't lend itself to a lot of, I know a lot of people are editing this year, which means they're really dependent on hours or line count or whatever. So I almost didn't sign up for camp. What I did do, which you might find useful if you'd still like to officially sign up for camp, is I have some of my old poetry. So I did an average word count and just multiplied it by the number of poems I want to do. If you know that you have an average word count per page, you could do that if you were trying to do page count. There are a lot of workarounds that it won't be precisely accurate, but it helps make it a little more serviceable. That being said, if this just throws you off, don't feel pressured. Here's my monthly PSA announcement. That was the word, PSA. I know a lot of us are kind of looking at Nano as, hey, we're an author tube, hey, we're writers, we should be doing Nano, and it's camp so we can set our own goals. Look, I love Nano, and I actually don't dislike the site, but I understand that it's not very serviceable to a lot of people right now. So even if you want to do Camp Nano, don't feel like you have to sign up and do it. There's plenty of us here on YouTube who are going to be working on it. The community's there even if the site just isn't up to par right now. So quick rundown because I went off track. I am doing free verse poetry under the theme of Carl Jung's archetypes of the mind, the conscious and unconscious mind. I will be doing 30 poems, which that in and of itself will be a thing. And unofficially, I will also be working on my draft for camp, or during camp. Those are my plans. We'll see how well they come about. But let me know in the comments below. Are you joining camp? Officially or unofficially? What kind of project are you working on? Something new? Are you editing, drafting? Let me know in the comments. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!